The Chiefs just got a ton of great news from offseason OTAs, and in this video, I'm going to react to it all. But if you guys are new to this channel, my name is Michael Darcy, and you were watching the KC Sports Report. Do me a big time favor and hit that like button. Also, share this video with your friends and subscribe to this channel for more daily Chiefs coverage. Now, let's go ahead and get right into today's news. This is a tweet coming from Matt McMullen. You can find him on Twitter at KCChiefs_Matt. And he said that a few notes from today's OTA practice. Patrick Mahomes had a great day with several tight window throws. Tyquan Thornton made a pair of deep grabs during the 7-on-7 drills. This one's my favorite. Jalen Royals made the play of the day with a leaping strong grab in the back of the end zone during the 7-on-7s. Royals had a great practice. Trent McDuffie hauled in an interception on a shovel pass during the team drills, and Cam Jones also tallied a pick on a short pass over the middle of the field during the team drills. So that is just fantastic to see. It's also just great to see that football is back. And I feel like we've waited for this moment for so long. But in this video specifically, since we talked about Tyquan Thornton, since we brought up Jalen Royals, I do want to go ahead and show some practice footage of Xavier Worthy, Jalen Royals, all of the wide receivers getting in on the action, because it is just such a great thing to see. You know, we can just watch the tape right here. Xavier Worthy, running his little drills, getting, the ball in his hands. Juju Smith-Schuster catching the football. It is just so awesome to see these guys out here. And even though this is just kind of optional team practice, I think it's so awesome that football is back. And, a couple guys that weren't actually in practice today, Rashee Rice, who's dealing with an illness. Hollywood Brown, I also believe, was not present at practice. So I'm not super worried about those guys. But again, it's just so great that Chiefs football is back. And that these guys are, getting together, because the wide receiver room is going to maybe have some of the most pressure on them this season. I think that if we just look at what they did last year with all the injuries and, with all the uncertainty, there's going to be a lot of pressure on that unit this year to perform. And, you're going into it with a really good top four. You've got Rashee Rice, who's going to be coming off that injury. You've got Xavier Worthy, who was a number one wide receiver last year once he got past that rookie curve. You've got Hollywood Brown, who's probably going to miss some time during the season. But you also drafted Jalen Royals in the 4th round. He was projected to be a second, a third round pick. And the fact that you got him in the 4th round, he's someone that I think Chiefs fans are going to fall in love with during training camp. And I just think that he is going to bring that deep threat element to this offense they haven't had since Tyreek Hill. Now, I'm not saying Jalen Royals is going to be Tyreek Hill, but the fact that you added someone with that vertical skill set, it's going to help this offense. So your top 4, you've got Rice, you've got Brown, you've got Worthy, you've got Royals. And we're not even talking about Juju Smith-Schuster, who could fit in as your number 5. And if Juju is your number 5 wide receiver, you're doing something right. Like, he is a fantastic 5th option to have. And that's assuming that the Chiefs don't get, production out of some of their UDFA guys that might end up being, guys that make this team out of training camp. The kid from Florida, he is going to get a lot of looks in training camp. And I think that it is just such a good position for the Chiefs to be in, where they have so many skilled wide receivers. In fact, I was even talking about this with some of the guys from my AFC West show, which shout out to them. And, we kind of go over, each and every single week, which team is strongest in the division. And of course, I'm representing the best team in the division, the best team in football in the Chiefs. The Chiefs have the best wide receiver room in the division, and they might have one of the very best wide receiver rooms in the entire NFL if everything ends up working out properly. I think barring any injuries, the Chiefs are going to be in a really good spot. And realistically, I think last year it was easy for people around the NFL to criticize Patrick Mahomes for having a down season and not being the MVP type of player that we know he can be. His entire wide receiver group was hurt. Like Rashee Rice, gone. Xavier Worthy, a rookie. Hollywood Brown, missed basically the entire season. He was working with practically nothing outside of Xavier Worthy, not trying to not mention Sky Moore, but I saw something that Sky Moore's put on a ton of muscle, and this is a guy that we should watch out for. Sky Moore's not going to probably make this team, or if he does make this team, it's going to be an uphill battle for him. But even if Sky Moore is your sixth or seventh wide receiver, that's not a horrible position to be in. Now, I don't think he should make the team, but if he's going to make the team because he is a former second-round draft pick, if he's your number 6th wide receiver, there's only so much I can hate that. But I do want to talk more about the wide receiver room. We also got an update on left tackle, which I may or may not dive into in this video because it is so complex and that's a whole other topic. But I do want to talk more about this wide receiver room, and we're going to do that right after this ad break. This video is sponsored by my friends over at DM Injury Law. Have you been injured in an accident? You may be entitled to significant compensation, but you gotta act quick. Trust the skilled personal injury lawyers at DM Law, Kansas City and Missouri's leading injury law firm. DM Law is a full-service personal injury firm backed by a large support staff of investigators, case managers, medical records specialists, and more. With over $600 million recovered for thousands of clients, DM Law isn't afraid to take your case all the way to trial. The best part, you don't pay unless they win. DM Law works on a contingency fee basis, meaning that you do not pay a single thing unless they win your case. Plus, they offer free consultations. If you've been injured, don't wait. You can call DM Law today for a free consultation and find out how they can help you get the compensation you deserve. Let them handle the fight while you focus on recovery. Hurt in a car wreck? Call Mike. Remember, Mike's got this. With offices in Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Colorado, DM Law is here to serve you. You can call them or visit them online today to schedule your free consultation. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement. Thank you to DM Injury Law for sponsoring this video. The Hollywood Casino at Kansas Speedway is the place to be. With over 1,500 slot machines, 35 table games, 4 restaurants, and a new ESPN Bet sportsbook, there are plenty of ways to find your fun. For more chances to win, follow them on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Huge shout out to the great sponsors that support this channel and this show all offseason long. But getting back into the main portion of this video, if we're talking about a realistic floor for this team and this wide receiver room in 2025, I think we should expect them to get this offense back to being a top 10 unit. I think that they should at least be top 5, but top 10 would be bare minimum because you've got so much talent in that wide receiver room with Rashee Rice, who he's probably going to have to serve some sort of suspension. Still trying to figure that out. Hollywood Brown's probably going to miss some time due to injury. Xavier Worthy is someone that I think could take a massive step in his second season. Jalen Royals, I think, has all of the talent to make a day one impact. It might not be a huge impact, but the Chiefs definitely have something with their first 4 guys, and they've shown that Juju Smith-Schuster, regardless of his age or injury history, can find some way to be useful on this team. And so I do think the Chiefs are in a fantastic position to go out and really establish themselves on offense this season. But I do want to hear from you guys down in the comments section below. What do you think of the Chiefs wide receiver room? Do you like seeing some of this practice footage from OTAs? Again, we can't get too excited about, the stuff that happens during the offseason because they're not even wearing pads. They're just wearing shorts and, jerseys. But I do think that it is just such a great sign to see these guys back playing football, back on the football field, and just getting us all excited for this 2025 season. We've been waiting for so long, but thank goodness, since the Chiefs are playing so deep into the season every year, that these off seasons just seem to fly right by. But guys, that is all the time I have in this video. I think we'll get into some of the other stuff that happened during offseason OTAs in tomorrow's video. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, go Chiefs.